ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ನಮ್ಮ ಕುಟ್ಟ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ 24x7. ಇದು ವಿಶ್ವಾಸದ ಪ್ರತಿಬಿಂಬ.
ವ್ಯಾಪಾರಿಗಳೇ, ಉದ್ಯಮಿಗಳೇ, ಗ್ರಾಹಕರೇ, ಆಗಿವೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳು ಕ್ರಾನಿಕ್. ಆಗಬೇಡಿ ಯಾವತ್ತು ಪ್ಯಾನಿಕ್. ಇದು ನಮ್ಮ ಕುಡ್ಲ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಲಿನಿಕ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿದೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಪರಿಣಿತರ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಹಾಗೂ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಟಾನಿಕ್. ನಾನು CA S ನಾಯಕ್. My dear viewers, taxpayers and entrepreneurs, we are happy to host 330th episode of Business Tonic today. The topic is Presumptive Taxation and Tax Audit under the Income Tax Act. We all know the last date of filing return for the year ended 31/3/25, that is assessment year 25-26, for non-tax audit cases, for individual cases who are not covered under audit, was supposed to be 31st July, which has been extended up to 15th September by our CBDT, not because of problems of the taxpayer, because of the problems in the introducing forms by the CBDT, and other dates, that is filing of tax audit reports, is the due date is 30th September and filing of the tax audit cases is 31st October. Even trusts, they also have to comply with a lot of provisions under the Income Tax Act, and small businesses and professionals also, they have been given the chance to file income tax return under the Presumptive Taxation scheme, and those who are not falling under Presumptive Taxation scheme, they need to file their return by making tax audits under the income tax audit by a practicing chartered accountant. With this brief note, I would like to continue this session. Before continuing the session, we have the tradition of introducing and wishing for special events of the week. ನಿನ್ನೆ ಅಲ್ಲ ಮೊನ್ನೆ ಶುಕ್ರವಾರ ವರಮಹಾಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಿ ವ್ರತ ನಮ್ಮ ನಾಡಿನಾದ್ಯಂತ, ಕರುನಾಡಿನಾದ್ಯಂತ, ದೇಶದಾದ್ಯಂತ ಈ ವರಮಹಾಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಿಯ ವ್ರತವನ್ನು ಹಾಗೂ ಪೂಜೆಯನ್ನು ವಿಜೃಂಭಣೆಯಿಂದ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಪತಿವ್ರತೆಯರು ತಮ್ಮ ಏಳಿಗೆಗಾಗಿ, ತಮ್ಮ ಪತಿಯ ಏಳಿಗೆಗಾಗಿ ಇದು ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ವಿಶೇಷ ಪೂಜೆ. ಎಲ್ಲ ವೀಕ್ಷಕರಿಗೆ ಈ ವರಮಹಾಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಿಯ ಅಷ್ಟ ಐಶ್ವರ್ಯಗಳು ಒದಗಲಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥಿಸಿ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ವರಮಹಾಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಿ ಹಬ್ಬದ ಶುಭಾಶಯಗಳನ್ನು ಹೇಳಿ ಬಯಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ನಿನ್ನೆ ಋಗ್ವೇದದ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಯಜುಪಾಕರ್ಮ ಅಂದರೆ ರಗ್ ಉಪಾಕರ್ಮ ಅಂದರೆ ವರ್ಷಂಪ್ರತಿ ಶ್ರಾವಣ ಮಾಸದ ಶುಕ್ಲ ಪಕ್ಷದ ಪೌರ್ಣಮಿ ಅಂದರೆ ವರ್ಷ ಋತುವಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಆ ದಿನ ಋಗ್ವೇದದ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಒಂದು ಯಜುರೂಪಾಕರ್ಮ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ಯಾರೆಲ್ಲ ಋಗ್ವೇದವನ್ನು ಪಾಲನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅವರು ಈ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ವೈಷ್ಣವ ಸಂಪ್ರದಾಯದ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಇದನ್ನು ಆಚರಣೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಆ ದಿನ ತಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ಜನಿವಾರವನ್ನು ಒಂದು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡುವ ಪ್ರಕ್ರಿಯೆ ಹಾಗೂ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪಿತೃಗಳಿಗೆ ಅರ್ಪಣವನ್ನು ಕೊಡುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಉತ್ತಮ ಒಂದು ಸಂಪ್ರದಾಯ ನಮ್ಮ ಹಿಂದೂ ಧರ್ಮದ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಯಜುರ್ ಉಪಕರ್ಮದ ಪ್ರಯುಕ್ತ ಶುಭಾಶಯಗಳನ್ನು ಹೇಳಿ ಬಯಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ನಿನ್ನೆ ಬಹಳ ಒಂದು ವಿಶೇಷ ದಿನ, ವಿಶ್ವ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತ ಭಾಷಾ ದಿವಸ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಹಳ ಒಂದು ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಅನಾದಿ ಕಾಲದಿಂದಲೂ ಇದು ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತ ದಿವಸದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ತುಂಬ ಮಹತ್ವವನ್ನು ಕೊಡಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಅನಾದಿ ಕಾಲದಿಂದ ಮೂಲ ಭಾಷೆ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತ ಭಾಷೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಭಾಳ ಒಂದು ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಇದು ಕೂಡ ಶ್ರಾವಣ ಮಾಸದ ಪೌರ್ಣಮಿ ಆ ದಿನ ವಿಶ್ವ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತ ದಿನವನ್ನು ಆಚರಣೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ಸರ್ವೇಭ್ಯ ವಿಶ್ವ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತ ದಿವಸಸ್ಯ ಹಾರ್ದಾಯ ಶುಭಾಶಯಾಃ. ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತ ಸುಭಾಷಿತಗಳು ಅದರ ಸೊಗಡು ಹಾಗೂ ನೀತಿ ಮೌಲ್ಯ ನಮ್ಮ ದೈನಂದಿನ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಸುಹೊಕ್ಕಾಗಿವೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಭಾಳ ಒಂದು ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತದಲ್ಲಿ ಸುಭಾಷಿತಕಾರ ಒಂದು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ, ಪೃಥ್ವಿಯಾಂ ತ್ರೀಣಿ ರತ್ನಾನಿ ಜಲಂ ಅನ್ನಂ ಸುಭಾಷಿತಂ ಮೂಢ ಪಾಷಾಣಖಂಡೇಶು ರತ್ನಸಂಜ್ಞಾ ವಿಧೀಯತೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ. ಅರ್ಥಾತ್ ಪೃಥ್ವಿಯಲ್ಲಿ 3 ರತ್ನಗಳಿವೆ, ಜಲ, ಅನ್ನ ಮತ್ತು ಸುಭಾಷಿತ. ಆದರೂ ಮೂರ್ಖರು ಕಲ್ಲಿನ ತುಂಡನ್ನು ರತ್ನವೆಂದು ಭಾವಿಸುವವರು ಕೂಡ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಭಾಷಾಸು ಮುಖ್ಯ ಮಧುರ ದಿವ್ಯಾ ಗಿರ್ವಾಣ ಭಾರತಿ. ಅಂದರೆ amongst all the languages, the God's own language, Sanskrit is the mother, divine and most lyrical language ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕೂಡ ಭಾಳ ಒಂದು ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಗೇಹೆ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತ ಭಾಷಾ ಭವತಾತ್ ಪುನರಪಿ ವಾಣಿ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರಕುಲಾನಾಂ ಧರ್ಮಧರಾಣಾಂ ಜ್ಞಾನವತಾಂ ಕಲ್ಯಾಣಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ. ಅಂದರೆ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತ ಭಾಷೆಯ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಬಹಳ ಒಂದು ಮಹತ್ತರವನ್ನು ಸಾರಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕೂಡ ಬಹಳ ಒಂದು ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತದಲ್ಲಿ ಅನೇಕ ಕವಿಗಳು, ಶ್ರೇಷ್ಠ ಕವಿಗಳು ಅನೇಕ ಗ್ರಂಥಗಳನ್ನು ರಚಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆ ಗ್ರಂಥಗಳನ್ನು ಓದಿದರೆ ಅದರ ಒಂದು ಅಮೂಲ್ಯ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಕೂಡ ಪಡಿಬೋದು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ, ಉಪಮಾ ಕಾಳಿದಾಸಸ್ಯ ಭಾರವೇಹೇ ಅರ್ಥಗೌರವಂ ದಂಡಿನಾ ಪ್ರದಲಾಲಿತ್ಯಂ ಮಾಗೇ ಸಂತಿ ತ್ರಯೋಗುಣಾ ಅಂತೇಳಿ. ಅಂದರೆ ಮಾಗಕವಿ ಉಪಮಾ ಕಾಳಿದಾಸಸ್ಯ, ಕಾಳಿದಾಸ ಉಪಮೆ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಹಳ ಒಂದು ಪರಿಣಿತ ಅಂತೆ. ತೊಂಡೆ ಹಣ್ಣಿನಂತಿರುವ ತುಟಿಗಳು, ದಾಳಿಂಬೆ ಅಂತಿರುವ ಹಲ್ಲುಗಳು, ಈ ರೀತಿ ಒಂದು ಉಪಮೆ. ಭಾರವೇಹೇ ಅರ್ಥಗೌರವಂ, ಅರ್ಥಗೌರವ ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಆ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಗಂದರೆ, ಈಗ ನೋಡಿ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತದಲ್ಲಿ ಸೇಮ್ ವರ್ಡ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಚೇಂಜ್ ದ ಟೋನ್ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಚೇಂಜಸ್. ಮನಸ್ಸೇಕಂ ವಚಸ್ಸೇಕಂ ಕರ್ಮಣ್ಯೇಕಂ ಮಹಾತ್ಮನಂ, ಮನಸ್ಸೇಕಂ ವಚಸ್ಸೇಕಂ ಕರ್ಮಣ್ಯೇಕಂ ದುರಾತ್ಮನಂ ಅಂತೇಳಿ. ಅಂದರೆ ಸೇಮ್ ವರ್ಡ್ ನಾವು ಟೋನ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಕೂಡ ಬದಲಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಭಾರವೇಹೇ ಅರ್ಥಗೌರವಂ ದಂಡಿನ ಪದಲಾಲಿತ್ಯ ಅಂದರೆ ರಿಡಲ್ಸ್, ಅದನ್ನು ಮಾಡುವುದರಲ್ಲಿ ದಂಡಿ ಮಹಾಕವಿ ಬಹಳ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪರ್ಟ್ ಅಂತೆ, ಪರಿಣಿತ. ಮಾಗೇ ಸಂತಿ ತ್ರಯೋಗುಣ, ಮಾಗಕವಿ ಎಲ್ಲ 3 ಗುಣಗಳನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಿದ್ದಾನಂತ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಭಾಳ ಒಂದು ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಸರ್ವೇಭ್ಯ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತ ದಿವಸಸ್ಯ ಹಾರ್ದಾಹ ಶುಭಾಶಯ, ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತಂ ಗೆಲ್ಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಈ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಮುಂದುವರಿಸ್ತೇವೆ. Today's our topic is Presumptive Taxation and Tax Audit under the Income Tax Act. We all know now we are prepared for filing of the income tax returns, both non-tax audit cases as well as tax audit cases. We have already done one program for income tax returns and filing, basic program, few weeks back, for the benefit of our viewers. But for the benefit of people, those who are conducting business, and the benefit of the people, those who are having tax audit cases, we deemed it fit to conduct one more episode today. To deliberate on the topic, we have 2 experts practicing chartered accountants from Bengaluru. First of all, let me introduce CA Sanket S. Nayak. He is a partner in SS Nayak and Associates, having offices in Mangaluru and Bengaluru. He is in charge of Bengaluru office, and his qualification BCom, FCA, CPA, LLB, these are from ICAI and IBBI valuer. He has completed his chartered accountancy at a very young age of 21 years and is in practice for the last 13 years. He is not only chartered accountant, he has completed CPA from Uniform Public Certified Public Accountancy exam from USA at the young age of 23 years, and he is also registered valuer for securities and financial assets with IBBI, and he is a life member of Karnataka State Chartered Accountants Association, and he is a Rotarian also, member of Rotary Bangalore Orchards, and he has successfully completed DISA course, that is Diploma in Information Systems Audit from the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, and certificate course on concurrent audit and certificate course in international taxation also. He is specialized in GST, income tax matters, and representing up to tribunal level, and he is a valuer for companies also, and he is expert in audit of corporates and public sector banks also, and he has been the resource person in various forums as expert in MSME and startups, mentoring many MSME and startups, and he has participated as resource person in income tax, GST, MSME funding, startups ecosystem, schemes and incentives for MSMEs and startups, and various other subjects in ICAI, MSME conclaves, chambers of commerce, and in various premier management institutions. So, with this small note, I would like to introduce CA Sanket S. Nayak. You are welcome to our show.
Thank you very much, sir.
We also have with us young, energetic, enterprising, smart, pleasing chartered accountant from Bengaluru, CA Anil Bharadwaj. He is the partner of Bharadwaj and Hosmat Chartered Accountants, having offices in Bengaluru and Davangere. Correct, no?
Correct.
Okay. Davangere, no? Harihara. Okay, alle hatra. So, he has completed his BCom from MES Main College, Malleshwaram, Bengaluru. Then, PUC. Then degree from ASC Degree College, Vijayanagar, Bengaluru. And he is also MBL, that is Master in Business Law from prestigious National Law School, Bengaluru. Then he has completed his chartered accountancy course in the year 2016 and now has 9 years of rich experience as practicing chartered accountant in the field of direct taxes, indirect taxes. And he is a visiting professor also in Mount Carmel College Center for Post Graduation, ASC College for Postgraduate Studies, Sheshadripuram Institute for Global Management Studies, Ramaya Institute of Management Studies, and list goes on so on. And he is a member of Board of Studies of Mount Carmel College and co-opted member of Syllabus Review Committee of Board of Studies of Bangalore University, and he has, being a resource person and keynote speaker and panelist, he has addressed more than 35 national conferences conducted by various universities and colleges across Karnataka. He has given more than 100 seminars on GST, and is an expert advisor for many cooperative societies on the matter of GST and income tax. And he has been recognized as one of the few resource persons who can explain tax provisions in Kannada language. Especially, he has helped many cooperative societies and customers in rural areas where English is still treated as a foreign language. So, he is also expert in stock market, disseminating knowledge on stock market. Also, he has conducted various workshops in investment and stock market areas also. Most preferred resource person for ICAI on various topics like investment awareness, wealth creation and tax planning for investors. He has been guiding thousands of students in CA course and post graduation courses in structuring their career. ವೃತ್ತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಚಾರ್ಟರ್ಡ್ ಅಕೌಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಆದರೂ ಪ್ರವೃತ್ತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇವರು ಗಮಕ ಆರ್ಟಿಸ್ಟ್ ಹಾಗೂ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಆರ್ಟಿಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಅನೇಕ ಡ್ರಾಮಾಗಳನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಮಾಡಿದ ಕೀರ್ತಿ ಇವರಿಗೆ ಸಂದಿದೆ. ಇವರಿಗೆ ಅನೇಕ ಅವಾರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಕೋಲೇಟ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ ದೊರಕಿದೆ. CA ಅನಿಲ್ ಭಾರದ್ವಾಜ್, ನಿಮಗೂ ಕೂಡ ನಮ್ಮ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಸುಸ್ವಾಗತ. ನಾವು ಇವರ ಇಬ್ಬರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಸಣ್ಣ ಒಂದು ಚುಟುಕನ್ನು ಈವಾಗಲೇ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವರಚಿತ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಂಟ್ ರಚಿಸಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಕಗ್ಗಗಳ ಸರದಾರ, ಗಮಕದ ಮಂದಾರ, ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ GST ಪಸರಿಸಿದ ಹರಿಕಾರ, ಭಾರದ್ವಾಜ್ ಮತ್ತು ಹೊಸಮಠನ ಗುರಿಕಾರ. ಇಂದು ಕೇಳುವಿರಿ ಅನಿಲ್ ಭಾರದ್ವಾಜರ ಝೇಂಕಾರ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಹಳ ಒಂದು ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ CA ಸಂಕೇತ್ ನಾಯಕ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಸಣ್ಣ ಒಂದು ಚುಟುಕು. ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಹಾಗೂ MSMEಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಪರಿಣಿತ, ನೀಡುತ್ತಿರುವರು ಸೆಷನ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಸತತ, ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಅಧ್ಯಯನದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವಿರತ, ಇವರೇ ನಾಯಕ ಸಂಕೇತ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಭಾಳ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಬೋತ್ ಆಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ವೆಲ್ಕಮ್ ಟು ದಿಸ್ ಶೋ. ಲೆಟ್ ಮೀ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಫ್ರಾಮ್ statistics of IT filing. We have 7.28 crore ITRs filed. Okay, that is 7.5% more than the assessment year 23-24. That is in 24-25 assessment year, that is year ended 31/3/24 until 31st July 24, 7.28 crores returns have been filed. And out of that, 5.27 crores returns have been filed in new tax regime, 2.01 crore filed in old tax regime. Less than 1% out of total returns is tax audit. That is about only 34.09 lakh tax audit cases. Reports have been filed for the assessment year 24-25. That is 4.8% more than the assessment year 23-24. So with this small note, let us continue this program. Here presumptive taxation, today's topic. CA Sanket S. Nayak, can you just brief about what is presumptive taxation? That means just illusory figures you can file, or what is presumptive taxation? Who are all eligible? Can you just brief?
Yes. So presumptive taxation is a relaxation. It is a special scheme given by the government to small businesses and small professionals. The idea behind it is that to reduce the compliance burden for smaller businesses. So there are three main schemes which are available: section 44AD, 44AE and 44ADA. Now the idea here is that in normally any business or professional is supposed to maintain books of accounts, is supposed to maintain details of expenditures and deductions which he is claiming, and at the end of the day he need to maintain this for the prescribed period of time, and at the same time tomorrow if there is a tax assessment or a scrutiny assessment or search and survey for that matter, these documents have to be produced before the tax officer and or online nowadays in NFSC, and they will need to justify whether a particular expenditure or a particular deduction is allowable. Now The idea behind presumptive taxation is that smaller businesses should get some relaxation as they may not be in a position to maintain detailed documents and records in relation to their business affairs.
Because owner come cleaner. Lot of hotels
Yes.
are owner come cleaner hotels and petty shops.
Definitely,
They
definitely.
cannot afford to engage some accountant or chartered accountant to do all
Definitely,
this
definitely.
and spend unnecessary money for this.
Oh, definitely. Many of the times it is a one-man show which goes on, or one lady show or one woman show as well, wherein they are handling everything from scratch. So it is very difficult that they have to maintain all the records which are similarly applicable to bigger entities.
Okay.
So
See Anil Bharadwaj. Now CA Sanket S. Naik has briefed about it. Who are all eligible under presumptive taxation? Whether all can file or there are some checks and balances. Can you just brief?
Yeah. First of all, very good morning to all the viewers, Nayak sir and Sanket. So when we speak about the income tax, it is worthwhile to discuss about the presumptive taxation, and I definitely appreciate that today we have taken this presumptive taxation topic. Dear viewers, presumptive taxation can be broadly divided into 2-3 sections, but two important sections, one for professionals and one for businessmen. Businessmen is under 44 AD and for professionals it is 44 ADA. Let me first speak about section 44 AD for businessmen. Men includes women also. Okay, you should not say I am only speaking about the men. So my dear friends, section 44 AD says any person, any individual or HUF, can file under presumptive taxation by declaring at least 6% or 8% of their gross receipts. Then the question comes, what is gross receipts? If any individual or HUF who is running a business has in a year annual receipt of 2 crores or 3 crores. What is this 2 crores? In the whole year, if he has a total sales or gross receipts of 2 crores, he can declare the profit, he can presume the profit up to 8% of the gross receipts or total sales. If he does this gross transaction online, that is through banking channel, then it can be as low as 6% instead of 8%. If he does a cash transaction, then it is 8%. If he does a banking transaction, then it is 6%. Last year, government has gone one step ahead and extended this 2 crores gross turnover to 3 crores if at all, if he does 95% of transaction through banking channel only. My dear friends, this is to curtail the cash transaction to the minimum extent. Okay, if any businessman has done 95% of cash transaction, he can still file under section 44 AD presumptive taxation and declare as low as 6% of that turnover as profit and pay tax on that only. Okay, this is on businessmen. And when it comes to the professionals, section is slightly different. Section 44 ADA. Here, annual turnover or gross receipts is not 2 crores or 3 crores, is only 50 lakhs. If a professional earns about 50 lakhs, less than 50 lakhs in a year, he can opt for this section 44 ADA. But there is one catch for section 44 AD, which I forgot to tell you, that brokers or commission agents cannot disclose under section 44 AD. His brokerage income and commission income has to be disclosed under other sources, and they cannot claim these presumptive taxation in this section 44 AD.
Shall we attend one caller now? Hello?
Sir, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear. Who's speaking, please?
Yeah. Sir, good morning. This is Vinod here.
Vinod from?
Mysore.
Vinod from
Can I
Mysore.
go ahead, sir?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Sir, actually, first of all, I'm new to this income tax related auditing area.
Okay.
What exactly presumptive taxation means? See, for a normal salaried employee or a normal, taxation person, how come this presumptive taxation comes into picture? And other thing is, why all these, I personally feel these all taxes and auditing related areas, for any normal person, whenever he sees income tax, means a kind of a fearful or a kind of a panicking thoughts will come. And moreover, we hear such advanced, I can say, or the terminologies in taxation. Can't we do simplified way in these all things? And why, like whenever the tax filing, this financial year comes, there will be a kind of a hassle bustle and kind of a complications in the all the tax filers. How we can overcome all these, sir? And why such a kind of advanced presumption related all those things are coming into picture?
Okay.
So can you address
very-
in this like from a normal user point of view?
Very, very good question, Mr. Vinod. There is a form called Saral. That means simplified. Let first Sanket answer, then Anil Bharadwaj will complement.
Yes. So now, though to a common person, the income tax law may look a bit, like he mentioned, intimidating. But what happens at the end of the day, the department and the government has tried to simplify and incentivize. The new regime was one such method wherein they did away with deductions, but at the same time they brought a simple tax regime wherein there are more easier slabs available. So that is one particular focus. And also presumptive taxation has come a long way, because just maybe 15 years back 40 lakhs was also subject to tax audit, and today up to 10 crores actually tax audit is not applicable in select cases. Additionally, professionals as well were subject to tax audit right from 10 lakhs. This was maybe right till 2010-11 for that matter. And today up to 50 lakhs, and in certain cases up to 75 lakhs as well, if their cash transactions are
Less than 5% of the
yes.
total receipts.
So in such cases, that relaxation is available. So there are there is lot of this one simplified forms now wherein a person can file at their end as well on the income tax portal. So there are lot of simplified things which have come up.
For salaried, he is asking. Salaried is very simple. No
Yes,
tax audit,
yes.
nothing.
Yes, yes. For salaried employees, you have Form 1 or Form 2 or so on, depending on the combinations, because you will need to see whether you have only salary or salary and capital gain or salary with more than one house property. So depending on this, there are multiple forms prescribed, but the income tax department has also brought in their own forms on the portal, wherein a salaried person can also go and fill the data at their own end. But what I would suggest is, wherever there are some complicated transactions like capital gain for that matter, it is always advisable to consult a tax professional in case you are not fully familiar. However, it is not mandatory. If you are very well aware with the law, you can definitely do it at your end as well. And with e-filing, there is no necessity to go and visit the income tax department and go and file physical forms.
Now refunds are also very quickly processed. In some cases on the same day, next day also they are getting the refunds.
Definitely. So unlike in the past we used to see for months, years together, refunds used to be stuck. Today it directly comes to your bank account. There is no need to wait for checks to come and checks to be deposited in the bank, and all these hassles are done away with.
You need not have to fund for refund also.
Yes.
Everything faceless now. Okay. See, Anil Bharadwaj, can you add?
Yes, a very good question is asked from a very normal people perspective. So 5 minutes I will take to explain the very basics of income tax to our viewers. See, Ravana Dashashiravadem Naranu Shatashiranu, income tax Panchashiranu is a beautiful kagga that we have to bring in here. So Ravana has 10 heads, but income tax have only 5 heads. That is salaried income, income from house property, income from capital gains, income from business or profession, other sources. So the salaried people are the first source of income under income tax, and is very easy. And the last source is other sources. Majority of the people will have income from only these two sources. They will get the salary, they will deposit the money in the bank and earn the interest out of it. Some people out of their savings construct a house and let it out and earn rent out of it. That has to be taxed under house property. Some people also in their free time open the demat account and do trading in the stock market. So those profits and gains are taxable under capital gains. Rest all other than this, if at all, if people are doing any business or in profession, they have to be taxed under the other head called business or profession. Today, when we are speaking of the presumptive taxation is under the head business or profession. Predominantly people who are doing the business, predominantly people who are chose to be the professionals, they can choose this presumptive taxation. This presumptive taxation is basically to ease out all the difficulties. Yatha alpa alpa grahitavyo varyako vatsa shakpadaha tatha alpa alpa grahitavyam rashtrat rajnyabdhikaha karaha is the Subhashita given by Kautilya in his Arthashastra. What does it say? A king or a government has to make the tax provision so easy, like how honey bee, the bee sucks the honey from the nectar, like how leech sucks the blood from the body. Similar way, even government has to collect the taxes from the citizens or the people of the nation without being much burden to those people. So easing of transaction, easing of taxation is a key aspect of any taxation rule. So here, as our Sanket rightly said, new regime places a very important role. In new regime, more than 150 deductions, exemptions are done away with. It is straight away declaring the income and calculating the tax at a reduced rate. Gone are the days where they used to pay tax of 20%, 30% for every lakh rupees beyond 5 lakh rupees. Now up to 12 lakh rupees, dear viewers, you need not have to pay tax.
That is
Only
next
if
year.
your tax
Last year,
crosses
whatever
10
you are
lakh.
filing this year, it is 7 lakhs.
Correct. For the year under filing, it is 7 lakhs. But for the year under which you are earning the income, the current year
Next
where you
year
are earning the
filing,
income,
it is up to
you
12
need
lakhs,
not
no
have to
need
pay
to pay
tax
tax.
up to 12 lakh rupees. But
That
for
is
the
only for
assessment year,
individuals, HUF other than NRIs.
other than
HUF,
NRIs,
there is no
other than
HUF
NRIs.
it is not
Yes.
there, only individuals.
Only individuals. HUF also it is from the 4 lakh rupees if they
NRIs it is
opt
not
for
there.
the new regime, 3 lakh rupees in the previous year.
Okay.
So new regime also, this presumptive taxation can be opted both in new regime as well as old regime. This can still be applicable.
Okay. Which are the businesses cannot be covered under presumptive taxation? Can you just elaborate?
Yes. So there are certain businesses, I believe Anil has also mentioned it earlier, but I'll again for the simplicity's sake I'll mention commission and brokerage businesses normally cannot be covered under presumptive schemes.
LIC agents?
They are not covered because they are primarily earning commission and brokerage income. But this does not mean they are not eligible for deductions. They can always claim deductions on actual basis. So if they can claim traveling expenditures, they can claim depreciation on vehicles and
Salary for assistants?
definitely, and any other charges which they pay, for example, any
Commission
stationery
paid to
printing.
sub-brokers?
Definitely. Anything, Income Tax Act for that matter, if we let go of the presumptive scheme, in the generalized scheme as well, the law provides for a very wide scope of deduction, and there is a residual section which very clearly says
Any
anything.
expenses wholly and exclusively incurred for the purpose of the business is fully allowed,
Yes. So as a result,
including depreciation
Yes.
on vehicles.
Yes. So you can definitely claim expenditures, but you are just not covered under presumptive scheme. Additionally, non-residents are also not eligible to claim under presumptive scheme as far as 44AD and 44ADAs are concerned. Of course, there are certain specific provisions under 44B, BB, BBB, BBA and all these things which may be a more academic purpose because it's for specialized businesses. And as far as any professionals cannot claim under 44AD, but they can of course go after 44 ADA. Now,
Which are all the professions?
yes, so
Legal,
accountancy, medical, engineering,
architecture,
architectural, even the film industry for that matter.
financial
are covered.
consultant, which this comes.
So we will need to look into it in more detail. It may be possible that they are covered under professionals in certain categories. So probably in many cases they may be covered under because management consultant, I believe, is covered under
That
profession.
presumptive taxation cannot be filed by companies and LLPs.
Yes.
Only individuals, HUF
and
partnership firms.
this is for 44 AD, and as far as 44 ADA is concerned, HUFs are not covered because a professional is normally an individual
But
or a
firm can
partnership.
be done.
Yes, individual or a partnership firm can be covered, and of course there is 44 AE, which is mainly for goods transport vehicle owners. So if anyone is owning goods transport vehicles, depending on whether it is light or heavy vehicles,
Up to 10 vehicles.
yes, up to 10 vehicles you can claim under this scheme, where the law is prescribed certain amount to be declared on a per vehicle basis for light, and for heavy based on the weight. The law is prescribed, and on this basis you can claim under that provision.
That is coming under section 44
AE.
AE.
Yes.
Okay. Anil Bharadwaj, can you just
Yes, sir.
elaborate on 44 AE, goods transport vehicles, heavy transport vehicles and light commercial vehicles? How much amount? Can you just say?
Yes. So, section 44 AE is predominantly, as Sanket sir said, is on the goods transportation agency. So, if at all, if any agency is having less than 10 goods carriage, they can opt under section 44 AE.
It is not agency, it is for fleet owners.
Owners.
Fleet owners, predominantly the proprietors. So, here they need not have to maintain any books, no need to get the audit also. They have to only show their goods transportation agency 7,500 rupees per month per vehicle under section 44 AE.
That
If
is
they
for
show so much,
LHV, light vehicle, commercial vehicles.
yes, light vehicle. Light vehicle, if they can show 7,500 rupees per month, it is sufficient under section 44 AE. If it is more than that, then they have to maintain the books of accounts, and if it crosses more than 10 crores, then they have to show under, they have to get the books of accounts audited under section 44 AB also.
Okay. Heavy commercial vehicles, how it is treated?
So it depends on the weight, on the basis
Tonnage.
of yes, on the basis of tonnage.
1,000 per ton.
Yes, so the law is prescribed that you need to calculate on that basis, and on that basis you are allowed to claim that as the income. So, and in addition, if there is a partnership firm, then after this income you are eligible to claim remuneration interest. This is only for 44 AE. For 44 AD and ADA it is not allowed, but for 44 AE it is allowing you to claim remuneration as well as interest after
Interest
the,
on capital.
yes.
After this presumptive.
Yes, yes.
In no other case, partnership firm can claim remuneration
yes.
and interest on capital under presumptive income.
Yes, yes.
Correct. No, that is a noteworthy point to be noted. Okay, very nice. So, whether these people have to maintain books of accounts, Mr. Anil?
These people, section 44 AD, ADA, AE, they are not required to maintain the books of accounts as per section 44 AA.
Then how the
They
receipts
have
can
to
be
only-
ascertained?
Sir?
How receipts can be ascertained
Sorry?
if there is no books of account?
Sorry, I did not get you.
No. They need not have to maintain books of accounts. Then how total
Yes, they
receipts
need
can
not
be
have to maintain
ascertained?
the books of accounts if it is 44 AD up to 2 crores. If they do less than 95% of transaction through banking channel, if they do more than
That
95%,
means they have to
95
see
or
the
more than
credit summation in
95% of
banks.
transaction
Credit
through
summation of
banking
bank
channel only.
transactions.
Banking
Or
channels only.
GST turnover they can take, suppose cash how much and this is how much, that also is GST turnover they can ascertain.
GST
Because no
aggregate
bookshop
turnover
account means
also they
how-
can consider for this
just
2
like
crores
that
or
they
3 crores
cannot
under
put
section
now.
44
Some
AD.
basis.
Okay, and for 44 ADA it is 50 lakhs. If this 2 crores or 3 crores or 50 lakhs, as the case may be increases, then they are required to compulsorily maintain the books of account.
That means these doctors, lawyers, chartered accountants, architects, engineers and other notified profession.
They
by
need not have
CBDT.
to maintain the books of accounts if their turnover is less than 50 lakhs.
Yes.
But they have to declare 50%. Suppose if a
Minimum
advocate's
50%
income is
of the
40
income
lakhs,
should be
gross
declared
receipt is
as their
40 lakhs,
income. Otherwise, they have to compulsory audit their books
get
of.
the books of accounts audited.
Okay. Oh, very
In
nice.
addition,
Ah,
I would like to mention, see, even though the Income Tax Act is not really specifying, but you may need to maintain under GST and other laws for that matter. And additionally, for banks, they may still ask for financial
because
statements.
audit report for non-corporate borrowers also they are asking
Yes.
20 lakhs and above, limit above 20
Yes,
lakhs and
yes.
above.
So as a result, there is also an option wherein even if you have books of accounts, there is nothing which stops you from going under presumptive scheme as long as you are within the threshold limits. So it may be still be required for banking limits. For that matter, you may need to maintain books of accounts and you may need to prepare financials and you may need to submit audited financials as well to the bankers. And now with the tax audit limit, in some cases going all the way up to 10 crores, bankers may still want it for above 50 lakhs of limits or whatever their internal banking policy prescribes.
So that they have to. And another this 44 AD, 44 AE, 44 ADA, that is the minimum amount as
Yes,
per the
yes,
threshold.
yes.
If the income is more
Yes.
or more,
Yes.
so
yes.
many people, suppose in case of doctor's profession, expenditure is not there, suppose.
Correct,
Only 10% expenditure. In such cases, 90% they have to declare, not
Correct,
50.
Correct. So what you need to do is, even if you do not maintain books of accounts, what is suggested is you draw a statement of affairs. You try to ascertain what is your bank balance, what is your investments, and if you have
Assets
a loan.
and liabilities.
Yes, and if there is any loan, what is the repayment of loan which has taken place, and on that basis try to arrive at what will be the income. For example, like sir mentioned, if I have 10 lakhs of gross receipts and if I have only 1 lakh expenditure and my bank balance is 9 lakhs, I cannot tomorrow say my income is 5 lakhs. I will need to say my income is 9 lakhs.
Okay, very nicely told. Now we have one more caller. I think Ram Rao is calling. Good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Devdas Rai.
Devdas Rai ಅವರಿಗೆ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಕೇಳಬಹುದಾ?
My question is, if my understanding is correct, I have a partnership firm called Saurabh Clinic.
Okay.
So I can maybe, I'll check up with my auditor, of course, and then maybe I can avail of this presumptive tax, because if I'm not wrong, whatever I've gathered from you people is this, like businesses, like partnership firms and all, if the turnover is something below 50 lakhs, I think we can avail of this presumptive tax.
Correct.
I want clarification on that.
Correct. You can.
Yes.
Anil Bharadwaj, can you just mention for partnership firm they have Saurav Clinic where 2 or 3 doctors are there together. In that firm, can they avail this benefit of presumptive taxation?
Yes, 100% Saurav Clinic can opt for 44 ADA provided their gross receipts of the clinic is less than 50 lakhs.
50 lakhs in case of
If the gross
cash
receipts
and
is less
non-cash.
than 50 lakhs.
If the cash receipts are less than 5%, up to 75 lakhs also okay.
75 lakhs, up to 75 lakhs, they can opt in 44 ADA and file the income tax returns of the firm under section 44 ADA presumptive taxation. Very much possible, sir.
And in such case, they have to minimum declare 50% of the gross receipts as the income.
Yes.
After deducting that 50%, then they cannot deduct interest on capital, salary and all, no deduction. Straight away on 50%, they have to.
Section 40B speaks about the remuneration to the partners, interest on capital to the partners, interest on loan. All those things are not considered after 50%. All
Okay.
those things have to be included within 50% and 50% income has to be shown and tax to be paid on that.
And if the income is more than 50%, then
Then they have to
50%
declare
or
how much.
more. It may
Yes.
be 60, 70, 80 also. It depends on
Yes,
each case
actual.
to case. Correct, no?
Yes.
Dr. Devdas, are you on the line? Okay. Now, it is very clear, if your total receipts are less than 50 lakhs, both cash and online receipts, or if your total receipts are less than 75 lakhs, provided less than 5% of the total receipts are in cash mode, then you are eligible under section 44 ADA under simplified scheme without carrying out the tax audit. In such case, your minimum income should be declared is 50% of the total receipts, or if your income is more, such higher amount you have to declare. With then such cases you need not have to compulsory audit your books of accounts. If you want, if your income is less than 50% of the total receipts, then you may have to undertake compulsory audit and file your returns. That is the clarity.
Maintain the books of accounts and get the
Okay.
audit.
Thank
done.
you very much, because doctors also lot of doubts are there. They should be aware about it. Thank you very much for asking. Hello, one more caller. Hello? Hello? Okay. So viewers, please note, whenever we are discussing anything, please you hold your call for a while so that we can answer each and everybody's call also. Okay? Then this turnover, what is this turnover definition? This is 2 crore, 3 crore, 10 crore, 50 lakhs, 75 lakhs, all these days. What is turnover as per this? Whether you suppose it is turnover with the GST, whether GST is also included. Can you just elaborate on what is turnover for the purpose of this?
Yes.
Or gross receipts?
Yes. So, for that matter, gross receipts or turnover are specifically for that matter, whatever is received in the bank account and whatever cash receipts, all these may need to be combined together for the purpose of determining gross receipts. Now, as far as turnover is concerned, whether it is inclusive or exclusive of GST, there can be two views in this matter, whereas in certain cases it may be...
No, tax is not a turnover. Tax is a levy collected on behalf of the government and we are paying to the government,
Yes.
other than taxes.
So, the exclusive, if you are for, what would happen is exclusive of taxes, if this is what we are normally following, then that is normally the turnover which is considered, and in certain cases it in presumptive taxation as well, it may be prudent because in form AIS, wherein lot of the data is compiled, the turnover exclusive of taxes is compiled, and for that matter, if you are declaring something inclusive of taxes, there may be an error of mismatch which may come up, which may unnecessarily result in some kind of scrutiny kind of trigger. So as a result, it may be advisable to compare those data before you file your forms.
Okay. Mr. Anil Bharadwaj. Hello, before that we will have one caller, we will attend. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Hello, who's speaking?
Hello.
Hello, yaar matadu? Who's speaking? Hello, please speak.
Hello.
Hello. We can hear, you can speak.
Prakash.
Expenses. If the turnover crosses 10 crores only in case of insurance agents, then the
10
audit
crores.
is required. Otherwise, audit is not required.
10 crores.
Yes.
I will elaborate.
Okay.
So, the earlier tax audit provision was referring to just one simple limit of 1 crore. This was the general practice a few years back. Now, when CBDT has now, the government for that matter gave a relaxation, and what they have told now is that if your transactions are are totally where more than 95% are through banking channels.
Now commission all received in banking channel only.
At the end of the day, since the insurance company will be paying in your bank account, then for that matter it will be in more than 95% will definitely be
Up
in your
to
banking
10
channel.
crore, no tax audit is required.
But you should please keep in mind, it does not mean that no books of accounts are applicable.
Books of accounts is a must.
And
Yes,
expenditure
books
data
of accounts
also
has
needs
to be maintained.
Yes, yes, as Anil is also mentioning, expenditure data has also needs to be maintained. It's just the
Proper
audit
proof,
report. Yes, because the
As
tax
if you are under the audit, what are all things required, that is to be maintained.
yes, but 50 lakh limit will not apply. The 50 lakh limit is for professionals, and insurance commission that will fall under business in whenever the incomes and such levels probably what is
What are all the
mentioned.
expenses allowed for insurance agent now?
See, there are anything connected to the business can definitely be claimed.
Depreciation on car,
Depreciation on cars, then
office
if the
expenses,
office interiors
travelling and
depreciation,
conveyance,
definitely salary to any employees which they are maintaining,
sub commission.
definitely, and anything for
I
that
will
matter
also
as
add few important points here.
Yeah.
We will have to see whether the insurance agency has been in proprietary concern or partnership firm. If it is a proprietary concern and a proprietor owns a car, we cannot claim 100% depreciation for as an expense because
If it
there may
is
be a
used,
certain percentage
if
of
it is used only for exclusive purposes business,
exclusively
then only
used
they
for
can
the
do.
business.
Otherwise,
So,
some
it is
portion
ideal to
personal
take a
nature they have to add back.
Yes, it is ideal to take a percentage of a regular depreciation as used for personal use and as used for business purpose and take only that proportion of business as expenses and leave this personal items aside is what we have to be very careful about while maintaining the books of accounts.
ಪ್ರಕಾಶ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಭಾರಿ
But in
ಖುಷಿ ಆಯ್ತು
presumptive
ಅಂತ. 10
taxation, all these
ಕೋಟಿವರೆಗೆ
things are not there.
ಆಡಿಟ್ ಮಾಡುವ ಅಗತ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಕೇವಲ ನಿಮ್ದು ಮಾತ್ರ ಬುಕ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಕ್ಲಾರಿಟಿಯನ್ನು ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಬಿಲ್ಸ್ ವೋಚರ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ, ಮತ್ತು ಬುಕ್ಸು ನೀವು ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ, ನಾವು ಬುಕ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಎಸ್ ಕಮ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ 44A ಪ್ರಕಾರ who has to maintain books of accounts in case of business and in case of profession? Can you elaborate?
yes. So there are 44A is the primary section from where 44AB also arises, and 44AA is more widely applicable. For that matter, 44AA talks about any businesses for that matter wherein they have prescribed turnover threshold limits beyond which you will need to maintain books of accounts, and also income limits beyond which you need to maintain books of accounts. Additionally, professionals are also supposed to prescribe, professionals are also supposed to maintain, and especially specified professionals like doctors are supposed to maintain data like case registers, wherein they need to maintain, where there is a form prescribed in the income tax law for that matter, where you need to maintain certain specified details like the name of the patient and the amount and so on, which is very much prescribed in that form. Additionally, you would need to make sure that, but what happens is when you are going under presumptive scheme, now there is a provision which says that in case there is a negative presumption there which is given under the presumptive scheme, that only if you are not crossing that specified limits, then you would need to maintain books of accounts. So by this basis, even the income tax law website FAQs for that matter is mentioning that if you are going under the presumptive scheme, there is no necessity for maintaining books of accounts.
Okay. Anything you have to add, Anil?
Yeah, definitely I want to add. So, books of account, what are the different types of books of account that needs to be maintained is also a very important question to be addressed. One, they have to have a clear books on sales, what sales they are doing, and books on purchases, and books on expenses, and salary register, and other expenses. These are the 5 important broad categorization where the books of accounts have to be maintained. I repeat, one sale transaction book, sales book they have to maintain, purchase book they have to maintain, cash book includes even banking transaction that they have to maintain, expenses register and salary register. These are the 5 important categorization where they have to maintain the
And
books
some
of accounts.
additional thing, that cash book, ledger, journal, then bills vouchers.
Bills vouchers.
Bills
These are the
vouchers is a must.
yes.
And as
additional
per
things that
section
they have to maintain in support of the
44A,
book.
if the specified professionals, if the gross receipts is more than 2,50,000, then they have to maintain books of account. If the turnover is more than 10 lakh or income is more than 1,20,000 in any of the previous 3 years, then they have to maintain books of account.
Compulsorily
Generally,
maintain the books of
except
account.
that those who are exempted under section 44
44 AD and 44 ADA AE.
AE and 44 ADA. Okay, these are the provisions. Okay, very nice. Now, presumptive taxation, that many people are under the impression that 8% and 6% confusion. Now, sometimes what happens, payments are, sales are done in credit, money is not yet received, then we are not aware whether it will be under cash or credit. In such cases, what is to be done?
Yes.
See, basically, whenever the sale happens, we will assume that it happens through banking channel only, because there are two kinds of transaction that may happen: cash transaction and credit transaction. And in income tax also we can show under two methods: one cash method and mercantile method.
Correct.
If it is a mercantile method, okay, you will have a basic presumption. If the sales is made and the amount is not received, it is to be received in banking channel only.
Okay.
Because in income
If
tax,
it
there
is
is
cash,
one more
immediately
section
cash
which
should have
says-
received.
Yes, I would like to add.
Okay, okay.
So, the 44 AD section actually very clearly provides, what it says is that any amount received within the due date of filing of the return, that is to be considered under the 6% provision, whereas if it is not, then we may need to consider it under the 8% provision, not under the 6% provision. So, for example, you have sold in March, but you may have received probably in August, then it may be not eligible under the 6%, it may need to go under the 8%
8%.
provision.
Very nice, because this is the confusion for everybody. And what about the depreciation? Can you claim separately depreciation when you
No.
file under presumptive taxation?
No, all the available deductions have to be adjusted within that.
It is
92%
presumed that all the expenses
that you have
are
created.
Yes.
already deducted.
Yes, because this is
Yes.
a very, in certain cases, people claim depreciation on buildings. Now, and if you are under presumptive scheme and the depreciation is already deemed to be included, then you may end up with a position of short-term capital gain at the end of some years, at the end of 5 years, 10 years. If you are selling this building, then if depreciation is deemed to be included, then that would be, the building part would end up being a short-term capital asset for that matter, because of 50C provision. 50.
We have one more caller now. ರಾಮ್ ರಾಯರು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹಲೋ, ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ರಾಮ್ ರಾಯರಿಗೆ.
ಹಲೋ
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಹಲೋ, ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಕೇಳಿ.
ಹಲೋ.
ಹಲೋ ಹಲೋ, ಕೇಳ್ತದೆ, ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಕೇಳಿ. ಹಲೋ,
ಹಲೋ
ಮಾತಾಡಿ ಮಾತಾಡಿ.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.
In Times of India dated 9/8/25, yesterday, it is reported that central government will submit new version of income tax bill on 11th August, highlighting continuing tax exemption on anonymous donations made to religious cum charitable trusts. Number 2, taxpayers be allowed to claim TDS refund even after ITR filing due date without paying any penal charges. Sir, what are the other changes do you forecast so that there will be a win-win situation for government and poor taxpayers? Next, in Times of India dated 21st March 25, it is mentioned regarding e-verification scheme. Kindly explain e-verification scheme. Next, Vijay Karnataka dated 25/6/25, Srimati Nirmala Sitaram has instructed IT department to be taxpayers friendly and help income taxpayers for correct assessment, whether it is followed. Next, Times of India dated 13th May 2025, Tax Department notifies all 7 ITR forms for assessment year 2025-26. Kindly explain. Next, Times of India dated 5/8/25, Central selects LTI Mind Tree to build PAN 200 project. What is PAN 20 project? Next, Times of India dated 15/7/25, IT department cracks down on bogus deduction exemption claims. Next, Times of India dated 17/7/25, artificial intelligence tools font Forsenic help income tax department bust rupees 68 lakhs
capital gains tax refund, capital gain tax fraud. Next, Times of India 19/10/24, number of taxpayers rises 82% to 10.4 crores in last 9 years. Next, Times of India dated 22/10/24, crorepati income tax filers so far 5 times to 2.3 lakh crores in 10 years. Next, Vijayawani dated 5/8/25, out of GST frauds of 7.08 lakh crores, only rupees 1.2 lakh crores were recovered. I have suggested so many Times of India quotations, that is, just to confirm that, just to prove that income tax department should concentrate on digital fraud, verification of culprits of rich politicians, rich business people, some film actors, some cricket players, instead of wasting time and energy on scrutinizing returns of small taxpayers and poor senior citizens, so that US President Trump's policy will not affect Mother India. Next, Times of India dated 9th August, that is yesterday, current Income Tax Act of 1965 has undergone more than 4,000 amendments and contains over 5 lakh words. All are not having websites or updated knowledge. Uneducated taxpayers, senior citizens, even with Bhuta Kannadi glass, cannot read small letters in the application form. Hence, it is better to file returns through attachment only. Next, thanks to Sri S.S. Nayak and Dhamma Kudla for updating knowledge on tax matters from time to time. You are doing the work of all taxpayers club. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ram Rairu. Nijwagi, he is a bunch of knowledge, and he gives with the proper reference. He prepares and reads more than what we are doing in our show. Congratulations to Ram Rao sir for doing wonderful work. As it is the time for break, after the break all the questions of Ram Rao we will address one by one. My dear viewers and taxpayers, we will take a small break. Don't go away. We will meet break ke baad.
This Vara Mahalakshmi bring home blessings wrapped in sparkle and shine. Celebrate with exclusive offers from 1st to 17th August.
On gold, get up to 10% off on gold rate. On silver, up to 10% off on silver rate. On diamond, get flat 10% off on gold rate plus flat ₹7,000 off per carat.
Exclusively available at all Bhima showrooms where tradition shines. TNC apply.
New experience of life. Rohan Estate, Mukka, a brilliantly conceived residential development with amazing resort-like facilities, boating, kayaking, skating, badminton, outdoor gym and much more. Rohan Estate, Mukka, it's where your dreams take wings.
ಜಸ್ಟಿಸ್ KS ಹೆಗ್ಡೆ ಆಸ್ಪತ್ರೆ ದೇರಳಕಟ್ಟೆ 1,000 ಹಾಸಿಗೆಗಳುಳ್ಳ ಮಲ್ಟಿ ಸ್ಪೆಷಾಲಿಟಿ ಆಸ್ಪತ್ರೆ. ಅತ್ಯಾಧುನಿಕ ಚಿಕಿತ್ಸೆಗಳು ಮತ್ತು ಗುಣಮಟ್ಟದ ಸೇವೆಗೆ ಸಜ್ಜಾಗಿದೆ. ಆಸ್ಪತ್ರೆಯಲ್ಲಿನ ಪ್ರಮುಖ ವಿಭಾಗಗಳು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸರ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್, ಕ್ಯಾತ್ ಲ್ಯಾಬ್, ಡಯಾಲಿಸಿಸ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್, IVF, ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ಡ್ ICU, NICU, ಲಿಥೋಟ್ರಿಪ್ಸಿ, ಕ್ಯಾಶುವಲ್ಟಿ, OT, OPD, MDCT ಮತ್ತು 1.5 ಟೆಸ್ಲಾ MRI ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾನ್, ಮೆಡಿಕಲ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸರ್ಜಿಕಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ಟ್ರಂಟಾಲಜಿ, ನ್ಯೂರೋ ರಿಹ್ಯಾಬಿಲಿಟೇಷನ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್, ಸುಸಜ್ಜಿತ ನರವಿಜ್ಞಾನ ಸಂಶೋಧನಾ ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಮತ್ತು ಸೇವಾ ಕೇಂದ್ರ, ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ರೂಮ್ಸ್. ಎಲ್ಲ ವಿಭಾಗಗಳಲ್ಲೂ ನುರಿತ ತಜ್ಞ ವೈದ್ಯರು ಮತ್ತು ನರ್ಸ್ಗಳ ಸೇವೆ. ಡೆಲಿವರಿ, ಸಿಸೇರಿಯನ್, ಕಣ್ಣಿನ ಶಸ್ತ್ರಚಿಕಿತ್ಸೆ, ಸೀಳುತುಟಿ ಶಸ್ತ್ರಚಿಕಿತ್ಸೆಗಳನ್ನ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ಉಚಿತವಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಲಾಗುವುದು. ಹಾಗೂ ಎಲ್ಲ ವಿಮಾ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ಗಳು ಮತ್ತು ಸರ್ಕಾರಿ ಯೋಜನೆಗಳ ಸೌಲಭ್ಯವಿದೆ. ಆರೋಗ್ಯವಂತ ನಾಳೆಗಾಗಿ ಕೆಎಸ್ ಹೆಗ್ಡೆ ಮಲ್ಟಿ ಸ್ಪೆಷಾಲಿಟಿ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಲ್, ದೇರಳಕಟ್ಟೆ, ಮಂಗಳೂರು.
ಮಣಿಪಾಲ್ ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ಕುಟುಂಬಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಶ್ರೇಷ್ಠ ಮೌಲ್ಯ, ವಿಶ್ವಾಸಾರ್ಹ ಸೇವೆ. 25 ವರ್ಷಗಳಿಂದ ಉತ್ತಮ ಆರೋಗ್ಯದ ಭರವಸೆ ನಿಮಗೂ ಹಾಗೂ ನಿಮ್ಮವರಿಗೂ. ಮಂಗಳೂರಿನ ಕೆಎಂಸಿ ಆಸ್ಪತ್ರೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಗೂ ಕಟೀಲಿನ ದುರ್ಗಾ ಸಂಜೀವನಿ ಮಣಿಪಾಲ್ ಆಸ್ಪತ್ರೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಶೇಷ ರಿಯಾಯಿತಿ ಪಡೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಹೊರರೋಗಿ ವಿಭಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ತಜ್ಞ ವೈದ್ಯರ ಜೊತೆ ಸಮಾಲೋಚನೆಗೆ 10ರಿಂದ 50% ವರೆಗೆ ರಿಯಾಯಿತಿ. ಪ್ರಯೋಗಾಲಯ ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆಗಳಿಗೆ 15ರಿಂದ 20% ರಿಯಾಯಿತಿ. ರೇಡಿಯಾಲಜಿ ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆಗಳಿಗೆ 10ರಿಂದ 20% ರಿಯಾಯಿತಿ. ಹೊರರೋಗಿ ಕಾರ್ಯವಿಧಾನಗಳ ಮೇಲೆ 5ರಿಂದ 10% ರಿಯಾಯಿತಿ ಹಾಗೂ ಔಷಧಿಗಳಿಗೆ 10% ವರೆಗೆ ರಿಯಾಯಿತಿ ಪಡೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಒಳರೋಗಿಗಳಾಗಿ ದಾಖಲಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಜನರಲ್ ಹಾಗೂ ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ವಾರ್ಡ್ ವಿಭಾಗಗಳ ಮೇಲೆ ವಿಶೇಷ ರಿಯಾಯಿತಿಯನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಪಡೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕುಟುಂಬದ ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ಸೇವಾ ಅಗತ್ಯತೆಗಳಿಗಾಗಿ ಹಿಂದೆ ನೋಂದಾಯಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಅರ್ಜಿ ಹಾಗೂ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ಗಾಗಿ ಸಂಪರ್ಕಿಸಿರಿ.
ಪ್ಯೂರ್ ಆಯಿಲ್ ಪ್ರಿಯಾಡ್ ಉಸ್ಸಾರಾಗಿರಿ.
ಅಣ್ಣ ಪ್ಯೂರ್ ಆಯಿಲ್ ಕೊಡಿ.
ಇದು ಕಾಮಿಡಿ. ಎಷ್ಟೋ ವರ್ಷಗಳಿಂದ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅಜ್ಜಿ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅಮ್ಮ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಯಾಕೆ ನಮ್ಮನೆಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಬಳಸೋದು ಸನ್ ಪ್ಯೂರೇ.
ಹಾಗಿದ್ರೆ ಸನ್ ಪ್ಯೂರೇ ಕೊಡಿ. ಫಿಸಿಕಲಿ ರಿಫೈನ್ಡ್ ಸನ್ ಪ್ಯೂರ್ ಸನ್ಫ್ಲವರ್ ಆಯಿಲೇ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ.
ಜವಳಿ ಉದ್ಯಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಳೆದ ಹಲವು ವರ್ಷಗಳಿಂದ ಮಂಗಳೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಸರಾಂತ ಮಳಿಗೆ ಪಾವನಿ ಸಿಲ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಫ್ಯಾಬ್ರಿಕ್ 10 ವರ್ಷದ ಸಂಭ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಇಟ್ಟಿದೆ ಹೊಸ ಹೆಜ್ಜೆ. ಪಾವನಿ ಸಿಲ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟೈಲ್ಸ್ ಮದುವೆ ಸೀರೆಗಳಿಗೆ ಹೆಸರಾಂತ ಮಳಿಗೆ. ಪಾವನಿ ಜವಳಿ ಮಳಿಗೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೋಚಂಪಳ್ಳಿ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ ಸಿಲ್ಕ್ಸ್, ಟಿಶ್ಯೂ ಸಾರೀಸ್, ಇಳಕಲ್ ಸಾರೀಸ್, ಕಾಟನ್ ಸಿಲ್ಕ್ಸ್, ಕೊಯಂಬತ್ತೂರು ಕಾಟನ್, ಧರ್ಮಾವರಂ, ಕಾಂಚೀಪುರಂ, ಮೈಸೂರು ಸಿಲ್ಕ್ಸ್, ಬನಾರಸ್ ಸಾರೀಸ್ಗಳು ಆಕರ್ಷಕ ವಿನ್ಯಾಸಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಲಭ್ಯ. ಮ್ಯಾಚಿಂಗ್ ಬ್ಲೌಸ್ಗಳು ನಿಮ್ಮದೇ ಆಯ್ಕೆಯಲ್ಲಿ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಬ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ನ ಮೆನ್ಸ್, ಲೇಡೀಸ್, ಕಿಡ್ಸ್ ರೆಡಿಮೇಡ್, ಇನ್ನರ್ ಗಾರ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಸಲ್ವಾರ್ ಸೂಟ್ಸ್, ಶೂಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಶರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ಸ್, ಯುವತಿಯರ ಮನಮೆಚ್ಚುವ ಗಾಗ್ರಾ ಚೋಲಿ, ಲೆಹೆಂಗಾ, ವಿವಿಧ ವಿನ್ಯಾಸದ ಚೂಡಿದಾರ್ ಕುರ್ತೀಸ್, ಲೆಗಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಹಾಗೂ ಜಗಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅತಿ ರಿಯಾಯಿತಿ ದರದಲ್ಲಿ. ಮದುವೆಗಳಿಗಾಗಿ ಜವಳಿ ಪೇಟ, ಧೋತಿ, ಶೆರ್ವಾನಿ ಹಾಗೂ ಎಲ್ಲ ರೀತಿಯ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ವೇರ್ಗಳಿಗಾಗಿ ಕೂಡಲೇ ಭೇಟಿ ನೀಡಿ. ಪಾವನಿ ಸಿಲ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಫ್ಯಾಬ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್, ಶ್ರೀ ವಿಲಾಸ್ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸ್, ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಕಾಮತ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕಂಪನಿ, ನಿಯರ್ ಐಡಿಯಲ್ ಕ್ರೀಮ್ ಪಾರ್ಲರ್, ಗಣಪತಿ ಹೈಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ರೋಡ್, ಹಂಪನ್ಕಟ್ಟ, ಮಂಗಳೂರು. 0824 244 0310. ನಮ್ಮ ನೂತನ ಶೋರೂಮ್ ಪಾವನಿ ಸಿಲ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟೈಲ್ಸ್, ಮಹಾಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಿ ಕಮರ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸ್, ಭವಂತಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಟ್, ರೂಪವಾಣಿ ಟಾಕೀಸಿನ ಹತ್ತಿರ, ಮಂಗಳೂರು. ದೂರವಾಣಿ 0824 2221 310.
ಎಂಸಿಸಿ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಲಿಮಿಟೆಡ್ ಬೈಂದೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂಸಿಸಿ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ನ 20ನೇ ಶಾಖೆಯನ್ನು ಆರಂಭಿಸುವ ಸುಸಂದರ್ಭದ ಪ್ರಯುಕ್ತ 10.50% ದರದಲ್ಲಿ ಚಿನ್ನಾಭರಣ ಸಾಲ ಹಾಗೂ 0 ಬಾಡಿಗೆ ದರದಲ್ಲಿ ಭದ್ರತಾ ಲಾಕರ್ಗಳು 1 ತಿಂಗಳ ಅವಧಿಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ. ಕಳೆದ 113 ವರ್ಷಗಳಿಂದ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸೇವೆಯಲ್ಲಿ. ಹಿಂದೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ತಿರದ ಎಂಸಿಸಿ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಶಾಖೆಯನ್ನು ಸಂಪರ್ಕಿಸಿರಿ. ದೂರವಾಣಿ ಸಂಖ್ಯೆ 7090701105. ಟೋಲ್ ಫ್ರೀ ನಂಬರ್ 1800 123 2966. ಷರತ್ತುಗಳು ಅನ್ವಯ.
ಕೋಲ್ಕತ್ತಾ ಕಾಟನ್ ಬಜಾರ್ ವಿಶೇಷ ರಿಯಾಯಿತಿ ಮಾರಾಟ. ಯಾವುದೇ ಬಟ್ಟೆಯನ್ನು ಕೊಳ್ಳಿರಿ, ಕೇವಲ 180 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಪಾವತಿಸಿ. ಕೋಲ್ಕತ್ತಾ ಕಾಟನ್ ಬಜಾರ್, ರಮಾ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀನಾರಾಯಣ ಕನ್ವೆನ್ಷನ್ ಹಾಲ್, ಮಂಗಳದೇವಿ ರಸ್ತೆ, ಎಮ್ಮೆಕೆರೆ, ಮಂಗಳೂರು. ಭಾನುವಾರವೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಸೇವೆ ಲಭ್ಯ. ಮತ್ಯಾಗ್ತಡ, ಒಮ್ಮೆ ಭೇಟಿ ನೀಡಿ.
ಮೂಡಬಿದ್ರಿಯ ಅತಿ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ಸ್ ತಾಣವಾದ ರಿಲಯನ್ಸ್ ಡಿಜಿಟಲ್ನ ಅದ್ದೂರಿ ಉದ್ಘಾಟನೆಯನ್ನ ಘೋಷಿಸಲು ನಾವು ರೋಮಾಂಚನಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ.
ಸಮಿತಿ ಬಳಿ ಲಾಲ್ ಬಾಗ್ ಮಂಗಳೂರು. ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಮಾಹಿತಿಗಾಗಿ ಸಂಪರ್ಕಿಸಿ 6382723352.
My dear viewers, you are all welcome to our Business Tonic 330th show, Presumptive Taxation and Tax Audit under the Income Tax Act after the break. We have two resource persons with us, CA Sanket S. Nayak, partner SS Nayak and Associates Bengaluru, and CA Anil Bharadwaj, partner Bharadwaj and Hosmat, Bangalore. Let me now ask question. Before that, one caller is there, we will attend. Hello.
Hello.
Who's speaking?
Sir, this is Bharat from Bangalore, sir.
Who is that?
This is Bharat from Bangalore.
Bharat from Bangalore. You can ask
Yes.
your question. What are you doing?
I am a startup founder, basically working on EV vehicles.
Very good.
My question is regarding this presumptive scheme. How is it applicable to startups and how it can be implemented for startups?
Okay. Whether startup this presumptive scheme is applicable, if it is, how it is applicable, and some schemes for startups also under the Income Tax Act we will explain. CA Sanket Naik.
Yes, so it's a very valid question because there are a lot of startup founders today who are there, and many of them who may have just been recent employees who have stepped out and got into startups for that matter. Now there are three basic entities which are allowed as startups: registered partnership firms, limited liability partnerships, and private limited companies. Now in most of the presumptive tax schemes, private limited companies and LLPs are excluded. So as a result, if you are under any of these two entities, then you would not be eligible for 44AD or 44ADA for that matter. But if it's a partnership firm, you can still take the benefit of 44AD and as well as 44ADA for that matter, as you can go with the 8% and 6% rule, and as a partnership firm you are very much eligible for the presumptive tax.
But after taking presumptive income, you cannot take deduction as remuneration of partners and interest on capital.
Yes, and additionally one more point, if you are taking any income based deductions, AT, IAC and all these things, but I believe it's not eligible for a partnership firm, it's only eligible for LLP and companies. Otherwise, even any other special this are under section 10 and section 80, JJ and some of these income based deductions, you are not eligible to go under presumptive scheme. So this is also one of the provisions prescribed in presumptive taxation.
Okay.
So 80,
and also some of the people asked me why 44AD and ADA is not available for LLPs and companies, because both LLP and Companies Act prescribes for compulsory maintenance of books of accounts.
Correct.
So income tax cannot override these acts and
Correct.
say you need not have to maintain books of account and show under presumptive method.
Correct.
Hence LLP and Companies Act, a company, a private limited or public limited, presumptive taxation is not applicable.
Okay. Now what are the deductions otherwise for startups under the Income Tax Act, and what are the procedures or provisions?
now whatever regular deductions are always available, but over and above this, one of the major provisions is AT-IAC, which is a income based deduction which a startup can claim, but this requires you to get a secondary approval. It is not just the Startup India certificate, after the Startup India certificate, you will need to apply for a separate registration for getting this deduction.
Income tax exemption.
Yes, exemption. And for this purpose, you would require to file certain documents, and they only after that specific approval you are eligible to get the deduction under this provision. But I believe still MAT or alternate minimum tax may still be applicable, but you would still get certain relief because the tax rates.
That is 3 out of 10 years.
Correct.
Continuously, 1 year if you take mean continuous 3 years you have to
consecutive
take.
years out of 10 years.
Correct.
Okay, that they have to take. Thank you, Mr. Bharat. Being a startup, you are watching our show and asking the relevant questions. Okay. What are the deductions, Anil Bharadwaj, available under new regime? Under new regime, there are no deductions, exemptions, they say. But there are some specific deductions and exemptions which are available under new regime. Can you just explain?
Yes. There are certain deductions which are still available in new regime. The first and the foremost is standard deduction for salaried employees. Every salaried employee will get 75,000 rupees of standard deduction even under new regime. But in old regime it is only 50,000.
Salary means both earning salary as well as pensioners also
pension,
they can
even
claim.
pensioner, because pension is also taxed under salaries, under the head salaries. Both pensioners as well as salaried person will get 75,000 rupees standard deduction.
And new pension, that is family pension people, instead of 15,000 now it is increased to 25,000.
25,000.
That also can
Yes.
be deducted.
Yes.
Correct now?
That is 75,000 and 25,000 for family deduction. Second important thing is employer's contribution to NPS is also available as deduction even in new regime under section 80 CCB 1B.
Up to 14%.
Employer's contribution to NPS up to 10% of basic salary of the person.
That is increased to 14% now.
It is now increased to 14% from this year.
Okay.
It is increased to 14%.
Okay.
So
then
this
any
can
other
be
deduction?
claimed as deduction under section 80 CCB. Apart from this, no chapter 6A deductions are available under new regime for any taxpayers.
But
Apart from
contribution to Agniveer fund is available.
What is it?
Contribution to Agniveer fund.
Agniveer fund, yes.
That is available under this new regime.
Agniveer fund is also there.
Other than that, no other deductions are available.
I
Suppose
predominantly focused on individuals and HUF.
Okay. Suppose there is rental income from house property. There are two types of house property. One is self-occupied house property, another is let-out house property.
Yes.
What is the scenario in new tax regime?
Yes. So what happens is that earlier any self-occupied property, if you had an interest on housing loan under the old regime, you could deduct this up to 2 lakhs. You could claim
And carry forward remaining whatever is there.
No, for self-occupied it was capped at 2 lakhs. There was no carry forward.
Okay.
But you could set off against your salaried income, business income, other source income. But under new regime, you are not allowed to deduct this 2 lakhs against other heads. But if you are having let out property, like sir mentioned, if there is rental income, against the rental income net of the 30% standard deduction and property taxes, there you can claim the interest deduction to that extent. But you cannot claim
Set
a
off.
inter-head set off beyond that provision.
Carry forward also not there.
Carry forward under the same head, we can we should check.
Okay. Now, any other additional provisions, opt-in and opt-out? Can you just explain about opt-in and opt-out provisions under the new regime? Can you just this? And presumptive, both confusion now. Opt-out and opt-in in case of new regime, and opt-in and opt-out in case of presumptive taxation. Can you brief Anil Bharadwaj?
Yes. See, from last year itself, any ITR filed has to be by default a new regime.
Correct.
Any person who wants to opt for an old regime has to file a specified form and only then opt for old regime. If the individual has income from the head business or profession, he can opt out and come in only once.
Only
If
once
he
he
does
can
not
come
have
in.
a business income,
Only
he can
once he
opt
can
in.
come in reverse gear. Now and then he cannot come reverse gear.
Yes.
Once he
But
takes
if he
reverse
does
gear,
not have any business income,
once he takes
can
reverse
opt
gear,
in
then he
and
has to
opt out any
continue in
number of
that
times.
only.
Any number of times.
Okay. Okay. That is a thing. For presumptive taxation, what is that opt-in, opt-out?
Yes. So in the past, maybe a decade ago, person could always come in and come out of presumptive tax at his choice. So looking at this, the income tax law had brought in an amendment a few years, maybe about 6-7 years back, wherein what they mentioned is that once a person enters into the presumptive scheme, once he opts into the presumptive scheme, then what happens is that if he in the following year he opts out of the scheme, then he is not eligible to go back into the scheme for a period of 5 years.
5 years.
So this is the provision.
Suppose the turnover already exceeds the limit, then this question will
I
arise.
think it should not, because it is not a question of opting then. He doesn't
Correct.
have a choice over there.
Correct.
Now let's say my turnover went beyond 10 crores. Then I did not have a choice. I have to go under the sir, and following year I may not have again. I may be below 3 crores. Maybe it's a seasonal business or a one-time business.
Okay.
So in that case, it is very much possible that I may still be able to go under the presumptive scheme. And also in addition, you would also be look into tax audit provisions under 44AD4, sorry 44AB 4. You will need to look, 44AD4 is the presumptive tax provision. Similarly, 44AB also has a provision. What it says is that if you are opting out and then if your incomes are exceeding the basic exemption limit, then you will need to get your books audited as well.
Okay. Very nice. Please, viewers, please note this. Then one more thing, in case of new regime, advantage is surcharge maximum is 30, instead of 37%, 25% surcharge. Old regime, the surcharge is up to 37%.
Now following the next year amendment, it is not applicable for this financial year when we are filing, sorry, this return which we are filing, not this financial year, but the ongoing financial year, unless you have a very high amount of deductions under 80E or something like this, it is making more sense to go into the new scheme, because the maximum deduction you can still avail is 2 lakhs and 1.5 lakhs and 50,000 probably if you have done NPS, which will still be capped at probably around 4 lakhs, or even if you have Mediclaim 4.5 lakhs or so, whereas under the this one regime, 5 lakhs is the amount below which you have to pay tax. So even if I add another 4 lakhs, you still end up with only 9 lakhs. But with the new provision up to 12 lakhs, you will not need to this one. So it may, going forward, I think the old scheme is seeing a very slow this one extinction.
Mr. Anil Bharadwaj, Ram Rao was mentioning about e-verification. Can you mention about what is e-verification? What are the consequences of not complying with the e-verification? Can you just brief?
Yes, e-verification is a very important provision. Many of the people, what they do, they only file the returns and keep quiet. While filing the returns, just uploading the return is not sufficient. There is a final process which is called e-verification, electronic verification. Only through electronic verification it is considered that ITR is filed or it is not filed. If e-verification is not done, then it is as good as ITR is not filed. Whatever is uploaded becomes invalidated. Now the question comes, what is e-verification? Once the return is uploaded, then the option comes as to verification through electronic mode, through Aadhaar OTP, or through EVC, electronic verification code generated through net banking, generated through demat account, or already existing EVC. With these codes, one has to update and verify the filed returns. Hence, e-verification plays a very important role. Every person, be it an individual or any entity, for an entity it comes through digital signature certificate, but for an individual, as I now said, it can be done through Aadhaar OTP or EVC generated through net banking or demat account.
Okay. What are the new provisions for the trusts now? Because trusts, once they get 12 ATG, they keep quiet. Earlier it was permanent, then they made for 5 years, everything confusing. Now can you throw light on recent provisions on trusts?
Yes, so as far as trusts are concerned, many charitable institutions or educational institutions are under a myth that as long as it's a trust, there is no tax. This is not how the Income Tax Act says. Even though you may be doing a charitable activity or an educational activity, you would still need to take a specific approval under section 12A if you want to avail tax deduction. So there, if you apply 85% towards the objects of the trust, once you get the approval, then you are eligible to claim this deduction. Otherwise, it is not automatic. The moment you have a charitable trust, many people are under the misconception that there is no need to pay tax. That is not correct.
Trust, those this renewal due in next assessment year,
Yes.
they have to apply for renewal before 30th September this time, because 6 months in advance.
6 months from the end of the period in which they are expiring, you have to apply for renewal.
Yes, because since the provision was introduced, there was a 5-year bracket which came in, and the 5th year is expiring in the current year. So as a result,
Many people they have to do before 30th September of this year now. Then.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Now, otherwise, how that provisions of the trust now applicable in other cases up to 5 crore for educational institutions.
Yes.
That is exempted now. What is the, they have to do?
Section 1023C.
Subclause 3AD, their education institutions which are not for profit, in those cases they have an automatic provision for getting a tax exemption.
Up to 5 crore, that is automatic exemption is there under section 1023C.
Yes.
Other than education institution up to 5 crore, I think there is a limit of 10 years, no, for renewal this.
The initial 5-year was then expanded to 10 years, but there is no clarity on whether people who got 5-year period, whether the 10-year provision will again apply. Unless CBDT brings in a specific clarification on this matter, it may be prudent to go for a renewal in these cases. And additionally, in charitable there are many cases wherein the CPC is processing them without giving any deduction, and under the gross receipts are totally being taxed. So as a result, it is very much and many also one more aspect which we see is that many trusts and societies and are not filing their income tax returns at all. And this is this proves an issue even when you are applying for a 12A, because they normally ask for a 2-year, 3-year, 1-year past tax returns. So make sure that you are filing those tax returns, because there are many of them who are misconception that it's a trust, I don't need to file my tax return. Even if you are a trust, even if you get approval, you need to file the return. No one is saying that you need to pay the tax, but you have to file the tax return.
In fact, now when we have applied for Tolu and ATG, they are asking provisional if the due date is not there.
Yes.
As if lot of scrutiny assessment, they are asking questions relevant to that. Okay. Now, what are the advance tax relaxations for presumptive tax scheme? Can you just brief, Anil Bharadwaj? Now, normally advance tax is to be paid in 4 installments if it is in excess of rupees 10,000. Correct, no? Tax. So that is June 15th.
But before that, I would like to speak one more important thing on trust. Okay, trust, as our Sanket said, at least 85% of the income, gross receipts, whatever is received, has to be utilized for the purpose of objects mentioned in the trust. However, if they are unable to utilize 85% of the amount, then they can carry forward this for next 5 years, provided they file another form within 31st of August of every year. If they file and carry forward for a specific purpose, then the trust can still spend less than 85% and claim deduction under section 12A.
Then if the donation is for specific purpose, fund, building fund or some other
then it
specific
becomes
purpose,
a corpus. Then
be.
you have to file one more called Form 10BD. Form 10BD has to be filed, and there it has to be clearly mentioned as to whether it is a corpus fund or it is not a corpus fund. If it is a corpus fund, then it has to be deposited, invested in a specified funds only in scheduled banks.
Or it can be spent for the particular purpose.
The purpose, of course, for the specific purpose also.
Okay.
Okay. And one more important thing that we need to do it here is marginal relief. We have to speak about the marginal relief available for the people who just cross the 7 lakhs income.
Correct. Suppose 7
Many
lakh
times
10,000.
what used to happen?
7 lakh 10,000.
Earlier years.
Whether he or she has to pay from the 2,50,000 itself tax?
That's the question. See, I'll speak of the new regime now. In new regime, there is a concept of marginal relief. Previously, this was not there. In old regime, up to 5 lakh rupees, this available, this tax exemption was still there with rebate. Okay. So, but once the income crosses 5 lakh rupees, for 5 lakh 1 rupee, 12,500 rupees tax used to be levied. But 4 lakh 99,999, zero tax. But 2 rupees extra, they have to pay 12,500 rupees tax. So this was a great burden, and many people used to somehow misrepresent their income and ensure that they come below 5 lakhs, even if they did not have any intention of misleading the government. But because of this provision, they used to do it. Even when they introduced new regime also, this problem was there. Up to 7 lakhs, tax was not there. The moment 7 lakh 1 rupee is there, then they will end up paying 25,000 rupees tax. So many people, just for joke purpose, they used to say, for subordinates, if they have to give promotion, if their salary is 6 lakhs 80, and if they give promotion and increase their salary and give increment of 30,000 rupees and make it 7 lakh 10,000 rupees, they end up paying tax of almost 27,000 rupees, where it is like giving incentive also and taking that incentive back also. Hence, in the last year, Nirmala Sitharaman, our central government, has come up with a concept called marginal relief, where if your income crosses that 7 lakh amount, only the marginal amount, the extra amount, whatever is increased, the tax will be restricted to that amount. For example,
7 lakh 10,000.
If you are 7 lakh 10,000 rupees, now with the same example that I gave, 7 lakh 10,000 rupees, actual tax payable on the 7 lakh 10,000 rupees, assuming 27,000 rupees, if the income is only 7 lakh rupees, he would have ended up paying zero.
Correct.
In this case, only 10,000 rupees, whatever income additional he got, only that amount will be taxed.
Next year also it is the same case, 12 lakhs plus whatever that income also.
Yeah, even under 12 lakhs, if the income is 12 lakh 25,000 rupees and actual tax on 12 lakh 25,000 rupees used to be 50,000, then in such case, either 50,000 or 25,000 rupees, whichever is lesser, that is 25,000 is taxable. Secondly, to be elaborate, if income is 13 lakhs, and actual tax payable on that 13 lakhs is say 70,000 rupees. Here marginal relief will not apply. The person who earns 13 lakhs has to pay 70,000 rupees tax.
Okay, very nice. Marginal relief also you have explained. Now we have many more questions of Ramarao. Since the time is up, we are not able to cover all this. Now, what is your final piece of advice to our taxpayers? This is takeaway message. Anil Bharadwaj.
Yes. My dear friends, I suggest all the viewers to regularly file the income tax returns before due date. As Nayak sir has initially mentioned, original due date for filing the income tax returns for individuals was 31st July 2025. However, government has extended this for another 1.5 months period and extended up to 15th September 2025. So all of you, whoever has income more than 3 lakh rupees have to definitely compulsorily file the income tax returns. You should not be in the assumption that up to 7 lakhs I need not have to pay any tax, hence I need not have to file the income tax returns. It is not the case. If your income is more than the basic exemption limit, that is more than 3 lakh rupees in new regime, 2.5 lakh rupees in old regime, you have to compulsorily file the returns and claim the rebate. Only then you will have the tax exemption. Secondly, last important thing that I want to say is, many of the salaried people and individuals have foreign income which they are not disclosing in their ITR. So every person, whoever has foreign assets, be it a share, because many companies will give RSUs and ESOPs of their parent company which is in other country. So any foreign asset, even if they hold one share of a foreign company or bank account in a foreign country or any immovable asset in a foreign country or any income from the foreign country, they have to compulsorily disclose it in the income tax returns. Otherwise, they can go back as long as 16 years in case of foreign assets and income, and they can dig up to 16 years in your returns. So kindly disclose your income properly. Do not urge for refund is the mantra I say. Do not urge for the refund. Do not hesitate to pay tax. You should always ensure you are paying a correct tax, not more tax, not lesser tax, but you are paying the correct tax to the government and be a good citizen of our nation. Thank you.
Okay, very nicely you have told. Now, before giving the that is takeaway message, what is the advance tax relaxation? Quickly, you can mention about this presumptive tax holders.
So whoever is under presumptive tax, they need to keep in mind that they need to pay the entire amount of advance tax before 15th of March.
They need not pay in
the 4 installments. There is no compulsion to pay 4 installments. You can pay if you want, but the law does not prescribe. So as long as
interest
there is no interest under 234B for not paying in those installments. However, if you pay within 15th of March, it is counted. If you don't pay, then that interest will be computed when you are filing your tax return.
Okay.
Additionally, my takeaway message is that
interest will be computed from 15th March or from beginning itself?
No, from 15th March.
Okay.
From 15th March, they will be counting the interest. Now, at the end, I would like to add my this one. Many individuals and proprietors, they always feel that my current account is disclosed and my SB account is not included for the purpose of computing my presumptive tax. This is a wrong misconception. It is a PAN based assessment. It does not happen based on your proprietorship current account alone.
Okay.
If you are doing transactions in SB account and any other SB account or any joint account, please make sure to include all these receipts also while computing presumptive tax. Today the income tax department has a very wide database. You can just log into your AIS and see. They will give you even 5 rupees interest or 10 rupees interest from which SB account. That is also appearing there in the form AIS. So as a result,
and 26 years normally whatever incomes and all that will be reflected in that property transaction, everything.
Yes, property transaction will definitely be reported. So please don't be under the misimpression that income tax will not know about my SB account, so I can do whatever I want in my SB account, only my current account I will need to include. Please make sure to include all the possible accounts, and if there are any cash transactions, also include these. Because if you deposit cash in your bank account, then it means that you should have had some kind of cash income.
Okay. My takeaway message to the viewers is, the best way of doing charity is to pay due taxes, Warren Buffett has told. And tax is a fine for doing well, and fine is a tax for doing wrong. So don't pay only tax, not fine. Okay, if you want to be fine, pay tax and be fine. Otherwise, you will end up in paying fine. So, with this small note, we want to conclude. Before that, I would like to ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಈ ನಮ್ಮ ಕುಡ್ಲ ಇದರ ಒಂದು 25ನೇ ಸಂಭ್ರಮ, 25 ವರ್ಷ ಆಗಸ್ಟ್ 12ಕ್ಕೆ ಪೂರೈಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಇದು ಬೆಳ್ಳಿ ಪರ್ವ ಸಂಭ್ರಮ 2025. ಇದು ಇದೇ ಮಂಗಳವಾರ ನಮ್ಮ ಟೌನ್ ಹಾಲ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ 9:30ರಿಂದ ರಾತ್ರಿ 9:30ವರೆಗೆ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ. ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಸಂಖ್ಯೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಜನರು ಭಾಗವಹಿಸ್ಬೋದು. ಅಲ್ಲಿಯೇ ಬಂದು ಅಥವಾ ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಬರಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಿಲ್ಲ ದೂರದಿಂದ ನೋಡುವವರು ಬೆಳಗ್ಗಿಂದ 9:30 ರಾತ್ರಿ 9:00ವರೆಗೆ ಲೈವ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಕುಡ್ಲ ಲೈವ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳು ಬರ್ತವೆ. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ನೋಡಿ. ನಮ್ಮ ಕುಡ್ಲ ಈ ಒಂದು ನಮ್ಮ ಕುಡ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಕುಡ್ಲ ಅಂಥೇಳಿ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರೋತ್ಸಾಹ ಕೊಡೋಣ. ಕಂಬಳ ಪ್ರಶಸ್ತಿ ಕೂಡ ಪ್ರದಾನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅನೇಕ ವಿವಿಧ ವಿನೋದಾವಳಿ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಅನೇಕ ಗಣ್ಯರ ಒಂದು ಸಮಾಗಮ, ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡುವ ಒಂದು ಸೌಭಾಗ್ಯ ನಮಗೆ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಕುಡ್ಲ ಈ ಒಂದು ವಾಹಿನಿಗೆ 25ರ ಸಂಭ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಶುಭಾಶಯಗಳನ್ನು ಹೇಳುವ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಇಂದು ರಾಘವೇಂದ್ರ ಸ್ವಾಮಿಗಳ 10ನೇ ಇದು 354ನೇ ಒಂದು ಇಂದು ಪೂರ್ವಾರಾಧನೆ, ನಾಳೆ 11ನೇ ತಾರೀಕಿಗೆ ಮಧ್ಯಾರಾಧನೆ ಹಾಗೂ 12ನೇ ತಾರೀಕಿಗೆ ಉತ್ತರಾರಾಧನೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ಈ ಕಲಿಯುಗದ ಕಾಮಧೇನು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು ನಾವು. ರಾಘವೇಂದ್ರ ಸ್ವಾಮಿಗಳು ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಮಂತ್ರಾಲಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ವಿಜೃಂಭಣೆಯಿಂದ ಅನೇಕ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳು ಜರುಗುತ್ತಾ ಇವೆ. ಪೂಜ್ಯಾಯ ರಾಘವೇಂದ್ರಾಯ ಸತ್ಯಧರ್ಮ ರಥಾಯ ಚ ಭವತಾಂ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಗಮತಾಂ ಕಾಮಧೇನವೇ ಅಂಥೇಳಿ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಶುಭವಾಗಲಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಸರ್ವೇ ಜನಾಃ ಸುಖಿನೋ ಭವಂತು ಸಮಸ್ತ ಸನ್ಮಂಗಳಾನಿ ಭವಂತು ಹೇಳಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಮುಕ್ತಾಯಗೊಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ಐ ಆಮ್ CA SS ನಾಯಕ್ ಸೈನಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್.
ಕರಾವಳಿ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದ ಜನರ ಹೃದಯ ಮಂದಿರದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಳಿಸಲಾಗದ ನೆನಪುಗಳನ್ನು ಉಳಿಸಿದ ಕರಾವಳಿಗರ ನೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಚಾನಲ್ಗೆ ಇದೀಗ ರಜತ ಸಂಭ್ರಮ. ನಾಡು ನುಡಿ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತಿ ಪರಂಪರೆಯನ್ನ ಜಗದಗಲ ತೆರೆದಿಟ್ಟ ಪ್ರಪ್ರಥಮ ತುಳು ವಾರ್ತಾ ವಾಹಿನಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಕುಡ್ಲಕ್ಕೆ 25ರ ಹರೆಯದ